This is the Red Sox POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Boston Red Sox, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, not really sure what to tell you right now about the Boston Red Sox, except it's too early in the season to panic. Red Sox tried to call to come back, got a run in the eighth inning to get to within one run, but they end up losing 4-3 against the Texas Rangers on Saturday with that first losing streak of the season for the Red Sox, who have now dropped two in a row. The theme continues. Rafael Devers not hitting, Tristan Casas not hitting, and Walker Buehler, yes, it was his Red Sox debut. Yes, it was his first start of the season, but left a lot of pitches up in the zone, ended up taking the loss. We welcome you to our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, veteran play-by-play announcer, calling over 1,000 games in the minors. Spent one glorious Saturday in the show calling Padres and Dodgers at Dodger Stadium for ESPN Radio on their national broadcast just a few years ago. We are providing reaction to every Red Sox game all season long on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, which you know is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Rafael Devers, I'll tell you, every plate appearance that he had, and he walked with the bases loaded to give the Red Sox their first run of the game. The Red Sox got into the Rangers bullpen early. Tyler Mahle did not make it long and did not last long for the Rangers, and that might be a good sign for Sunday, but Devers, again, not doing anything at the plate. The same for Tristan Casas. Casas ended up striking out to end the game. We do want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers. Join the conversation, watching live on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel. Hit that comment button. Hey, Red Sox fans wake up in the morning frustrated, right? I can't imagine the level of frustration right now. It's at peak form. Hey, you can also hit us up on the X, at Lennox on baseball. Questions, comments, or concern. Our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off on your first purchase. So we get into this as the Red Sox drop to 1-2 on the season. Walker Buehler giving up a run in the first inning, gave up 3 hits, and it could have been worse, but Buehler was able to get out of that first inning. In the top of the first, Duran, leadoff walk, Devers, strikeout, Bregman single, Casas struck out looking, Story a ground out to short, Mahle, 26 pitches, and there's a sign of things to come over the next 9 innings as the Red Sox, again, went down 1-2-3 in the 9th inning. Hey, the run they got in the second to tie the game up at 1-1, their first run scored, and their only run scored in the first 3 innings of the first 3 games of the season. Again, it's early, and I'm going to stay on that wall for a while, but Devers and Casas, I'm not a hitting coach. I'm not a former big league hitter, but Casas, even that at bat in the 9th inning, make an adjustment. If you take every swing and a miss that Devers and Casas have had over the first 3 games of the season, there's not much in terms of adjustment. First Nesson reference of the night, Dave O'Brien, Lou Merloni, Kevin Millar for the first time this year. And Kevin, sometimes less is more. And I thought last year you'd walk away from a broadcast that Kevin Millar was on, you'd be dizzy because there was just no silence during the broadcast. I don't know if that's something he's working on or not, but a lot, by saying less, you're saying more. And Millar did that. He taught me a couple things on Saturday night. And in that 9th inning, Lou Merloni and Kevin Millar were talking hitting. And when guys like that talk hitting, I listen. And they were talking about Devers. And if you get a third base shot of Devers with his setup and his approach to the plate right now, they thought about, or they at least mentioned, might tinker that a little bit. I don't want to hear the talk with Devers and talking with David Ortiz and JD Martinez. He has to do this on his own. He really does. And as bad as Devers and Casas have been early on the season, the Rook is getting the job done. I'm not in Boston. I'm not in the Boston market. I don't pretend to be in the Boston market. I do this from my home just outside of New Haven, Connecticut. But I've covered the Red Sox enough to know. I've covered and I've paid attention to Boston sports enough where you know it's never enough. Tatum and Brown are enjoying a great NBA season for the Celtics, and everyone still thinks they're not going to win a second straight title. The Red Sox have 4 titles since 2004, World Series championships. And I understand it's been feast or famine in recent years. The team has spent money. The team is going to win ball games, okay? But Tony Maserati goes on the air the other day on 98.5, the Sports Hub, and I'm not going down the road with this to create an argument or anything, but to say that Kristian Campbell is not ready, is not prepared, didn't look like he's ready to go for the big leagues. The dude was making his Major League Baseball debut Thursday. Credited with a hit in game 1. First home run, first double, first multi-hit, multi-extra base hit game in the game on Saturday. And also in left field as well for the first time this year. I've got thoughts on that coming up in just a few moments. We're also going to get into Walker Buehler as well. Let's get into the comments. Daniel checking in for the first time. Devers definitely sulking in the dugout at the end of the game. I didn't see immediately following the game. Double dip tonight. Red Sox, Celtics right now in the fourth quarter in San Antonio trying to extend their win streak to 8 in a row. So I was watching both. And I'll prep and get ready for the Celtics, and we'll have Locked On Celtics postcast as well on the Saturday night. So I didn't see Devers in the dugout, but I'll say this, Daniel. I appreciate the fact that he talked to the media after Friday night's game. He's not worried. You know, Devers doesn't smile a lot. He's not animated. He's pretty stoic with his facial impression. So that personality doesn't shine. That personality doesn't always exude outwardly. But I through his interpreter, I took his comments for what they were on Friday night. The guy doesn't want to start over the season over the first 3 games of the season. But he was there Friday night in front of his locker. Is that a big deal? To a certain degree, it is. So I don't know if he's sulking or not. The only guy getting in the batter's box right now is Rafael Devers. I said it after Friday. Maybe he'd be out of the lineup on Saturday. I'll say it again. Maybe he's out of the lineup on Sunday. Merloni and Millar were talking about, well, you're facing Jacob deGrom on Sunday. It's not Jacob deGrom from a decade ago. It's Jacob deGrom coming off another surgery. But it's another right-hander. Rafael Devers, Tristan Casas. You want to look at their swings and misses, and there have been a lot of them over the first 3 games. There's not a lot of adjustment at the plate. From at bat to at bat, from pitch to pitch. Tyler, too many runners left on base. Absolutely. That'll be part of our numbers tonight coming up in segment number 2. Nerds words. The Red Sox want to make us really mad before they win the World Series this year. Yeah, nothing comes easy, right? It's 3 games. But the way this first 3 games have played out, everything from the offseason into spring training, the Red Sox are not the only team right now where it's like guys needed more at-bats or seeing more, getting more at-bats on the backfields, on the minor league side in camp. There's something with this year in spring training with big league clubs. Can't pinpoint it exactly, but every camp seems to have something different. And with the Red Sox, just where you're at right now. Again, you haven't started the season off 1-9 yet. I don't think they will. But it's the first 3 games of the season. Do you panic? No. Do you look at it and say, it's just the lack of adjustments that I see. And again, I don't play a hitting coach on the Locked On Red Sox postcast. I've never been a big league hitter. But I see enough where it's the same swing, and you're swinging through fastballs. You're not chasing breaking balls in the dirt. You're not chasing up in the zone. You're chasing pitches that are in the strike zone or borderline strikes. Swagoo. Just can't drive people in right now. Yeah, and again, you go through stretches during the season like this. And I'm not trying to be a cliche machine and repeat myself every single day. It's early in the season. Again, the biggest thing right now is adjustments. Now, if this goes on a few weeks, you're going to start hearing things. What? I don't know. But you're just going to start hearing things. Redeem Ed. Pretty sad the best hitter is a rookie. Yes and no. Take it and run with it. With Kristian Campbell. Redeem Med has one more on Casas, giving him a new name. Johnny checking in. Johnny Mills. They'll be swept in Baltimore. No, they won't. I don't think that. I really don't. Although, you better keep the ball down against the Orioles because they're hitting home runs early on in the season up in Toronto against the Blue Jays. Andrew the GOAT! Welcome for the first time this year, Andrew the GOAT. But not a good way to start the season off for the Red Sox, being down in the series. Hey, you go for a split tomorrow. You get on the plane tomorrow with a victory, and not all is forgotten, but you certainly move on along the way as well. We're going to get more into Kristian Campbell. Abreu had another knock, extra base hit. They did pinch hit for him in the game. But the Red Sox, a one-run loss, their first one-run loss of the season, got the run in the 8th inning, and you're just thinking, hey, tie this in the 8th, go ahead in the 9th inning. And you've got the batters that you want up there. Narvaez, RBI base hit, scoring Romy Gonzalez. Gonzalez getting into the game for the first time this season. And Gonzalez up there as a pinch hitter, stayed in the game at second base. Pinch hit for Wilyer Abreu late in the 8th inning. Ended up with a walk scored as Narvaez was able to knock him in with a base hit. Dave O'Brien early on in the ball game as Narvaez is playing his first game of the season and catching behind the plate. And he's going to do a solid job for you, for this Red Sox team during the course of the season defensively. But Dave O'Brien basically said, hey, he's good behind the plate. He's a good defensive catcher, meaning he's a defensive catcher. Whatever you get with the bat from Narvaez over the course of a season, not that it's gravy. He's not going to hit below 200, I don't think, but he's a defensive catcher. More on Campbell and more on the start from Walker Buehler as well. That's coming up. Segment number 2. Steve Lennox with you. Red Sox fall by a run on the road in Arlington. They'll look for a split of the series with Richard Fitz on the mound on Sunday in Arlington before they take to the road and take to Baltimore. First of a 3-game series with the Orioles at Camden Yards on Monday. They'll be off on Tuesday, then back at it Wednesday and Thursday before the home opener next Friday against the St. Louis Cardinals. More on Buehler, more on Campbell when we come back. Glad you're with us as the Red Sox suffer the loss on Saturday night. Locked On Red Sox postcast, Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel, also part of the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, part of Locked On Sports Network, your team every day. We are presented by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trade. Supply House, whether you're into plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals right now are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Locked On Red Sox postcast, talking about the Red Sox 4-3 setback on the road in Arlington against the Rangers. Again, Red Sox looking for the series split on Sunday with Richard Fitz on the mound. Locked On Red Sox postcast brought to you by Game Time. Nothing better than catching a Major League Baseball game live. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the smell of the ballpark food. And if you're looking to go last minute, Game Time makes getting tickets easier than ever. With last-minute deals, all-in pricing, and the lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the stress out of buying MLB tickets. Plus, ticket prices drop as Game Time gets closer, meaning you can score an incredible deal. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Locked On and the Locked On Red Sox postcast. Hey, you're getting ready for opening day at Fenway next Friday? Well, hey, opener again against the Cardinals next Friday in Boston. You can count on Game Time to help grab tickets that meet your needs. The Game Time Picks feature makes finding the best deals effortless. It filters out the fluff and highlights the top discounts in the ballpark with the seat view before you buy feature. Hey, you're going to love it. You preview your seat before making your purchase, so no bad surprises when you get to Fenway. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Create your account. Use code LOCKEDONMLB, and you will get $20 off on your first purchase. Terms to apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off on your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets and lowest price guaranteed. All right, back at it on the comments. Into Walker Buehler and also who's in left. Yeah, it's the rookie. How about that? But I have thoughts on Kristian Campbell starting in left field for the Red Sox on Saturday. Not sure how often that's going to take place. We'll get into that in just a moment. Chris Carter. Love the back pick after the catcher's interference. Yeah, how about that? Walker Buehler almost had his second straight 1-2-3 inning. 2-out base runner, catcher's interference on Narvaez, then throws behind the runner, gets him out, inning over. Thank you, Chris Carter. Appreciate that. Yeah, again, Narvaez, defense first, behind the plate, bat second. But did pick up an RBI base hit to make it a one-run game in that eighth inning. Redeem Med. When will they bring Meyer and Anthony up? It's going to, who knows, right? And I was thinking about it earlier today as the Red Sox are going to Baltimore on Monday. And remember, when the Orioles' first trip into Fenway and to Boston last year, that's when they brought Jackson Holliday up, and he got off to a miserable start. I'm not trying to make a compare and contrast here, but, Casas in that ninth inning, you got to produce. Injuries last year, you're not producing in another few weeks. Those guys are pushing. Now, is Casas, who plays first base? If Casas, something happens with him, in terms of this funk going for a couple of weeks to open up the season. But those guys play other positions right now. Now, Walker Buehler. Overall, it's his first start. 4 earned runs allowed over 4 1/3 innings. When the Red Sox got the run to make it a 2-1 ball game in the second, then the Red Sox got a run in the 4th inning to make it a 2-2 game. He gave up the home run in the bottom of the 4th inning. Campbell, the home run in the top of the 4th to tie the game at 2-2. And then Garcia, who had the 2-run double in the first, touching up Walker Buehler for that home run in the 4th inning, gave up another run in the 5th, and did not make it out of the 5th inning. Pitch count was down, but got a lot of the strike zone. And the Rangers were on him in the very first inning. So when the Red Sox, you're gonna hear this from me all season long. What I want from a starting pitcher, Campbell home run, top of the 4th inning, game tie 2-2. You want that shutdown inning, right? Your team ties it up or goes in front, top half or bottom half, that next half inning, you want a shutdown inning. Did not happen for Walker Buehler. And the first pitch strikes for Buehler, I think he was 9 for 21. Let me see if I can get back up here real quick. Buehler. Yeah, 9 of 21. 80 pitches, 48 strikes. 9 of 21 first pitch strikes. So like the Red Sox offense, trailing early on, Rangers have scored first in each of the first 3 games. Buehler was battling in the sense of he was working behind the count early on. Just 9 of 21 first pitch strikes. Sort of like the plus minus in the NBA. 9 of 21 first pitch strikes is not good. It's just not good, right? So you hope for better. Hey, right now, next time out, Garrett Crochet can build on his first start. Houck and Buehler have to be better and more crisp their second starts of the season. We'll see how that plays out during the upcoming week. Who's in left? Was a little surprised that Kristian Campbell was in left field. I think probably a lot of us were. But when I saw Campbell again in the lineup for the 3rd straight game and in left field, I immediately thought, is Alex Cora going to play Kristian Campbell in the outfield at Fenway? Is he going to play him in left with the green monster behind him? Not an easy left field to play, right? Is he going to play him in right? Willie Abreu is going to start pretty much every day in right field, right? And with that, if Campbell's going to get starts in the outfield on the corners, it's going to be on the road. I'll be shocked the first time you see Kristian Campbell in the lineup at Fenway Park playing in the outfield. And they talked about it early on in the NESN broadcast. Campbell understands he's a utility guy. Think about Ceddanne Rafaela last year. And I really feel like Ceddanne Rafaela should be wearing number 43. Saying that for the first time. That number just looked cooler on the back of the Rafaela jersey than number 3. Hey, he's number 3 now, right? Sogard has changed his number. Hamilton has changed his number. Just throwing that out there. But again, Buehler, not great. Not great. Numbers of the night. They're not pretty. Devers, 0 for 12, 10 strikeouts. Bregman, couple of base hits and a walk on base 3 times. That's good to see from Alex Bregman. Casas struck out to end the game. Casas now did have a base hit, his first of the season. But now 1 for 13 and 6 strikeouts. And Story's right there too. Story, 0 for 4 on Saturday and 1 for 11 so far in the first 3 games. Willie Abreu has 6 hits. And the rookie, Kristian Campbell, 5 hits now through the first 3 games of the season as well. So the Red Sox dropped to 1-2. Fitz and DeGrom, the pitching matchup for Game 3 of the series. So Redeem Ed, I don't think I actually ever answered your question. Meyer, Anthony, when are they getting promoted? This continues. They're up by May 1. Give them a month. I have no problem going to them being in AAA right now and getting off to hot starts, and you carry that to the big league level. But are you really going to have 3 rookies in the lineup? And again, Campbell's off to a good start. And he almost made that catch. First time mentioning it, he almost made that catch in the first inning off the ball off the bat of Garcia that went for the 2-run double. He almost made the catch. But Campbell, he's going to have bumps in the road. You can't. 3 rookies in the lineup, I don't know that it happens. But if they're off to torrid starts, they might have to force your hand. Especially if guys, you're not producing at the big league level. There's always someone pushing. And right now, the Red Sox have guys pushing. And they're not in single A the way Campbell started off 2024. No, they're knocking on the door in Worcester. They're ready to go. Afternoon baseball from Arlington on Sunday. That means we're going to be on within minutes of the final out for the series finale. Hopefully, we're talking about a split of the 4-game series. I'm looking forward to seeing Richard Fitz make his first start of the season. He goes up against Jacob deGrom. Hey, if deGrom can only go 4 innings, I'm not sure where he's at right now, but you're into that bullpen for the Rangers over the first 3 games. Maile did not give you any length whatsoever. And really, with Fitz, you want to see him put the ball in play. You want ground balls. The defense so far over the first 3 games, let's say as expected. But the way the Red Sox played defense last year, Narvaez had the error in the 4-3 setback on Saturday. That was on catcher's interference. The bullpen, solid again. Wilson, Kelly, Weissert combining for 3 2/3 of scoreless baseball. And just 1 walk total for Red Sox pitching. That's how we're going to end the show with the positive. But as Tyler wraps up for us, Tyler Bryant, thank you. 2 through 5 in the lineup. Devers, Bregman, Casas, Story. Get it going. Let's see if they can get it going on Sunday. As always, we tip our cap to you for joining us on the Locked On Red Sox postcast, providing reaction within minutes of the final out of each Red Sox game throughout the course of the season. Red Sox, 2 for 6, 4 runners left on base on opening day Thursday, 3 for 11, runners in scoring position, 8 left on base on Friday in the team's first loss of the season. And the Sox, 1 for 12. Runners in scoring position. They had their opportunities, didn't make the most of them, stranding 10 runners on base against the Rangers in a 4-3 loss on Saturday. Tip our cap, acknowledge our sponsor, Supply House and Game Time. And as always, we thank you as well for your continued support for Locked On Red Sox Postcast. Game 3 in the books, and hey, 159 to go. We started this last June. We're on board. We're not Gehrig, we're not Ripken, but we are going to take this for as long as we go. Then we'll have a bump in the road there. We won't have a show, but we're far off from that right now. Locked On Red Sox Postcast, Locked On Sports Boston, number one place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Sox, every day.